Hey guys, what is going on? I am going to be trying to make a playthrough of Naval Ops Warship Gunner if my HD PVR will cooperate. This is actually the third try at this. But anyways, there's a couple of videos online about this game, kind of scattered on YouTube. Maybe no more than 10, I don't think. And what always seems to be in the comment section of all of those videos are people asking the poster to make like a playthrough or something, and no one has done that yet. I don't know if those people just don't read their comment section or what, but they're not doing it. So here I am, a noob at recording stuff, and I'm gonna give this thing a try because no one else seems to bother. But it's a great game. It's from 2003, so give the graphics a break. But, I mean, if you think back to 2003, this is amazing. Like, this was ridiculous in 2003. So, anyways, the main gist of the game is you take ships out on missions, but not just any ships that you design. We haven't gotten to the design bit yet, obviously. This is like the little prologue stuff. You can see there's story things happening at the top here. I'm not gonna lie, the story in this game is not great. And generally speaking, you can just kind of ignore it and just go do the missions. If you care, it's up there. It's all typed out and written, so you can read it over me blabbing about stuff. But anyways, oh, I need to, before I forget, this. There, now you guys might be able to hear me better. Anyways, I can't make the settings on my computer any better than they are right now, so I have to fix the in-game settings for volume if I want to be, you know, audible. And,
enemy ship sunk.
There we go, enemy ship sunk. But, basically, my favorite part about this game is not the missions or the story, but it's the designing process, because I just love designing things like that. Not so much in real life. I thought about being an engineer for a while, and then I changed my mind. But anyways, I still like doing it in video games. So this is a really cool game, especially for its time. I mean, if you think back to 2003, this was a pretty different style of gameplay and definitely better graphics than most people were used to seeing. So I think it is a really big success of a game. I mean, it didn't sell a ton of copies, but the people that played it, most of the people that played it will look back and say, man, that was a good game, and they would probably recommend it. I know I would. I would recommend this to anybody, even if naval stuff isn't your kind of game. Still try this out. And if you do like naval stuff, like me, you're going to probably love this. It's not a simulator by any means, obviously, but it is really cool. So just got to finish up this prologue mission here. I'm already farther than I was last time without having an issue, knock on wood. But yeah. Here, take some torpedoes. Anyways, the current version of Hostage Capture that I'm using right now is 1.0.34057. You technical people will care, some of you won't, but anyways, that version has an issue with transitional screens, like what's coming up here, and sometimes it likes to stop recording and kind of crash.
We have successfully withdrawn
But
from
we did
combat.
good.
We see
got
other
it.
survivors of the battle as
Yay,
well.
it's working.
We have no idea what is going on or indeed where we are.
So, yep, this guy's like, I don't know where we are or what's going on, but there will be another bit of story exposition in the same kind of form here in just a second. Assuming it doesn't crash. We're good?
After safely leaving
nope,
the battle
it
sector,
crashed.
we hooked up with the crew that
You guys
helped
should be
us
able to hear it,
withdraw.
though.
They call themselves the Freedom Forces and told us they fought an oppressive regime that controlled most of the world. In this world, a dictatorship calling itself the Empire has won control of large areas of the globe. Our new comrades were a group of guerrilla fighters determined to oppose this despotic rule. But that seems to be the only difference between our worlds. Countries, oceans, cities, all the names are exactly the same as in our own world. Parallel world. A term I once read in a science fiction novel. We had impressed them with our fighting ability. They asked that we join them. These rebels are desperate for any and all help against the might of the Empire. But can we believe them? Is what they're saying true? We have no idea and no way to find out. Still, we have nowhere else to turn. That, and we have already been attacked by this empire of theirs. Our sister ship has been sunk. We cannot survive here alone. The crew met and talked it over, and we decided to throw our fates in with these FF. Evidently, we are fated to do battle on this world as well.
Okay, so I know that the screen is black right now. I'll fix it in just a second. The only way to fix that is to close the program, but I wanted you guys to at least be able to hear that story stuff even though the screen was black. So, yeah, like I said, it's just going to do that from time to time. So now that I'm at a point where it's not doing anything, I will go ahead and reset it. Okay guys, this is right after that little story thing. There was literally nothing between the end of that story part and this, so this is perfect. This is why I had to wait to get through the talking stuff. But anyways, here we are. This is basically just where you pick your nation that you're going to get ships and building supplies from, basically. And the only difference here, it doesn't actually change the story at all. The only difference is the hulls and the bridges that you get. You'll get the same weapons. Oh, and the aircraft too. So the hulls, the bridges, and the aircraft are the only things that change here. But you'll get the same like cannons and machine guns and all that. So, and the difference between the hulls, so there's tiers of hulls, and so for destroyers, cruisers, battleships, and aircraft carrier, there's various tiers. So let's take, you know, Cruiser 3. Japan Cruiser 3 is going to be different from the American, British, and German Cruiser 3s in that it'll have different weight capacity, different shape, like the deck will be laid out differently. It might be a multi-level deck, or it might just be flat. It might have more or less aircraft capacity, things like that. And so basically, as you go down the list here, starting with Japanese, the hulls progressively get, not in every case, but in most cases, they generally get worse and worse as you go down. So Japanese is, they have like, all of their hulls are pretty good. They're easy to use for newer players, just like it says they're good for novices. American, many different weapons, no obvious weak points. Their hulls are not usually quite as good as the Japanese, but they do have, the Americans really have air power. They have good aircraft carriers and good aircraft to put on the carriers. So, Americans are good. British, it keeps talking about the weapon types, but I'm pretty sure it's about the same for all of them. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same for all of them, but anyways, the British are not great at anything. They're pretty much average at everything, and that's why it says a test of skill. You're gonna have to think more about the way you design your ships. And the Germans are another level of that. They're even harder. You have to really pay attention to your weight limit and everything. A challenge for the advanced player. Just like it says, it's, you know, you have to really watch your weight limits and stuff. And because I've played this series of games enough times, I've designed a lot of ships. I'm going to go with German just because I like a challenge, and we're gonna see how this goes. By the way, the ship you see here is not the ship you start off with. It's just an example of ships from that nation. So I'm not going to start off with a Bismarck just because I picked Germany. So here we go. Freedom Forces. I'm not creative whatsoever when it comes to names. So I'm just going to name it LP for Let's Play so I don't lose track of which save this is. Yeah, yep. I am so original. Anyways, I gotta keep checking the recording, make sure it's not crashing, but it should be fine. I think we are going to the dock for the first time. Yay, dock. So there's a lot of stuff here. It can be a little overwhelming, but on the right-hand side, you've got information about your save file, I guess you could say. So you've got your fleet name or unit name up top there, and then the ship that is currently being viewed. It goes away after a second in case you want to actually look at the ship and just admire it. if you have like a really nice ship. You have the mission, the story mission that is next up. You have your rank there, how many points you have, which is that has to do with your rank basically, and then your budget as well, which is your money, of course. So briefing just takes you to the missions. Tech is where you research new stuff, which we can't do yet because we don't have any money. Depot is where you buy parts for your ship, like weapons and bridges, and we'll get into all of that here in a little bit. Design is my favorite tab and the one that I will use most, probably. This and tech. I guess I use all of them pretty equally. Anyways, so you can design a ship regularly, which just means you take a hull and you design the ship basically from the ground up. So pretty much just get the hull and then you do everything else yourself. Automatic is have the computer, just like it says, have the computer design a ship for you based on your parameters. So you can say, I want an offensively based ship, and it'll try to make a ship for you that has less armor but more weapons and things like that. Ship status is basically, well, I might as well show you this here. So it basically lets you get a nice overview of everything that you need to know about your ship. So how the armor is distributed, what kind of weapons you have, and you can just get that by pressing X. And you can see everything: engines, aircraft, armament, systems, and then evaluation. So it has this little hexagon shape here, and it just shows you what it's kind of good at, like where its abilities lie. And then also, if you want, you can have this little camera here that just goes around and looks at your ship. So again, if you have a really big ship that you're proud of and you just want to look at it for a little while, you can do that. And here you can pause it and get a cool little screenshot. And there's a ton of different angles that it goes through. And yeah, that's pretty cool. And then the last option in the design tab, if I remember correctly, should be scrap, which means you take a ship. You can't scrap your only ship. And since I only have one ship, I can't scrap it. But I'm going to redesign it here in a second anyways. But it's exactly what it sounds like. You take the ship apart completely. So you get all of the parts back, and they get put back into your depot, into your storage, so you can reuse them. But you just basically erase the ship, pretty much. Other is like save, load, options, quit to title, things like that. So right away here, I'm going to hop into design. I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to change here, but I want to see if I can modify this at all. I noticed that it had 4 turrets with 2 guns in each turret, which is not bad to start off with, but I want to see if I can change that. So what I'm going to have to do, unfortunately, yeah, so what I have to do, there's no exchange option, there's place and remove, there's no replace. So that option comes into the other 2 games, but this was the first one, and they were still trying to, you know, they were working on it. You know, it's still a good game. But anyways, I'm gonna have to remove them and then add them back myself, which is actually fine because with the extra barrels or barrel, it's gonna be bigger anyways. So I would have had to move them around anyways. So if I use LT and I play 360. I don't have a PS3, so that's why. Yeah. Anyways, if I use L2 and R2, I can change the speed down to the bottom left there. You can see I'm moving it around. Low speed is like for really precise movements. And red means you can't place it. White means you're good. And yeah, so just kind of got to toy around with it. So if I press circle, I can manipulate it. I can raise it a little bit. I can turn it around, do whatever. So I'm going to try to have 4 turrets. Maybe. Oh boy, this is gonna be. Yep, German destroyer design. I'm not gonna say anything about it in real life because I don't know, obviously. But of course, in the game, like I said, it's harder. So there we go. See, I can do that. If I raise it up, I can go back here, and then whoops. And if I hit L1 and R1, I can switch between these here. So this is just the cursor to grab things. This erases things, and this is the copy tool. So if I copy this, and then I manipulate it and go down with it, like that, there we go. Perfect. Now I want to copy this. I'm going to go back, do that, raise my speed just to get to the back faster. put that there, and I'll drop it down, and put another one. Maybe I won't. Okay, hold on. See, this is where things get interesting, because I have to... You know what I could do? If I erase those, and I do that. Okay. And I bring the searchlight back. Now, I'm kind of like to have things symmetrical, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to grab the machine guns. I need more machine guns on here, man. Wow, that's not good. I don't have a lot of machine guns. You want more machine guns to shoot out torpedoes and stuff. And aircraft, of course. So, oops. Copy, manipulate, drop, forward, well, back in this case. There we go. So, I want more machine guns. Do I have more machine guns that I can even put on here, or do I need to go buy some? I need to go buy some. Now, this is cool. You don't have to go all the way out. You can just come over here to purchase. You don't have to go all the way back to the dock just to get to the depot. If you were designing a ship, you can just go to purchase there. And so, whoops, we want machine guns. And we just want to buy... You usually want to buy machine guns in pairs. So, how many more? I want 3 pairs, so I want 6 machine guns. You know what? I'll go 4 pair. Just to be safe. And I press start, and I go, and I hit confirm. And you can see it cost me money. You have to buy all of your parts individually, which can be kind of annoying, but I mean, stuff isn't generally that expensive anyways. So,